Hello there, and welcome back to a Star Wars story. Remember to like and subscribe to let YouTube know that the Force is strong with this channel. I am really excited to share what is thrilling news for fans of the High Republic era, and especially those anticipating the Acolyte after we exclusively launched that trailer from Star Wars Celebration. Disney is said to be so overwhelmed by the positive response in Acolyte's test screenings that they have fast-tracked a Season 2 for the Acolyte. Now, it needs to be noted, this was just prior to all of the strikes beginning, but Lucasfilm was in active development on Season 2 of The Acolyte before the strikes, and it is 100% expected that development will continue and progress as soon as the strikes have concluded. Now, as of the recording of this video, the strikes appear to have no end in sight, so it's very much so up in the air when they'll be able to pick up on this. And again, being able to pick up on this just means it's even further down the road. But just in terms of estimates and looking at Disney's outlook and looking at how they're approaching streaming and looking at Lucasfilm's catalog, the best case scenario is that Season 1 of The Acolyte will launch in spring 2024, and Season 2 of The Acolyte would launch in winter 2025 or spring 2026. And like I said, this is all dependent on the strikes. Development on Season 2 was said to be very early. There are no episodic scripts. There are no scripts for specific episodes. There is an outline. There is a brief story outline that was delivered and turned in, but it has not been able to, it hasn't been reviewed. It hasn't been reevaluated, and there is no second draft of that outline now that it has been turned in. So that's the information we're setting with right now. Then the next question you might have is, what is Disney's involvement? Because this sort of comes up a lot, especially surrounding the Acolyte, because the Acolyte has so much misinformation around it because of the grift and the fandom menace, as I like to call it. There's a lot of unwarranted negativity and a lot of deliberate misinformation and in many cases outright falsehoods about the lead cast and the creator. So Disney's involvement in the Acolyte, and we can exclusively confirm this with 100% certainty, is just capital. It's just money. That's it. There have been no rules. There have been no designations. Disney has not come in and issued any mandates. This is a Lucasfilm creator-driven production. There is no oversight. There have been no meetings where anyone has come in and said this, and this needs to happen. There is no involvement. This is a creator-driven story. It is a shame to see widespread misinformation be accepted as fact, especially given the circumstances of the world we live in today and how hostile and aggressive situations can turn very, very quickly. What can be said is that the response from Celebration was overwhelmingly positive. The test screenings have been reportedly overwhelmingly positive. This has led Disney to make the decision to approve of a Season 2 of The Acolyte. This should also put to bed any of the strange, nasty rumors that The Acolyte was produced with stolen funds or mismanaged funds, just the weirdest stories. Honestly, that could be a video entirely in its own right, but just to try to quickly acknowledge all of these beats as efficiently as possible when talking about Season 2 of The Acolyte, Disney approved and gave money for Season 1 of The Acolyte. It has been received very positively internally, and now Disney's giving more money for the development of a second season. Disney is knowingly giving money for the development of The Acolyte Season 1 and Season 2. There is no mismanagement of funds. Nothing was developed outside the scope of approval. Nothing illegal has been done in the development of The Acolyte. And I can't even believe this is something that has to even be verbally said, that anything with a TV show, a $100 million expensive television show, is happening under the table without any kind of quarterly meetings. In big productions like this, it's usually monthly meetings because they have to know where they're at in terms of production, what post-production is going to look like, what the visual effects are going to look like. I think in terms of misinformation, this really goes to show how the average consumer doesn't understand the business side of filmmaking. And there is a subsect of content that intends to radicalize individuals to keep them clicking and to keep them coming back, and to therefore isolate them so that they feel their only friend is very specific channels, is actively harming intelligence. There's really just no way to say it. It's making people dumber, and it's an absolute shame. So, season 2 of The Acolyte, actively in development prior to the strikes. Once the strikes are over, and again, all deserve fair and equal pay. Everyone, no matter your career or your profession, don't ever let anyone belittle you. We all of us deserve to make a living and deserve to live comfortably. Again, sometimes it's very shocking that anything like that has to even be said or argued. Thank you so much for watching. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and remember the Force will be with you always.